Hello everyone, welcome to CognitBotz. My name is Usha. I'm an RPA developer from CognitBotz Solutions. Today, today I'm going to discuss about RE framework by using queues in Power Automate. Before, I have already created a video based on RE framework without using queues in Power Automate. Please refer that video before going to this. Let's know what are queues, how to create queues, what are the activities related to queues, and also RE framework with queue items. Let's see what are queues. Queues are nothing but containers which is used to store the data. What we do actually in UiPath, what we will do, we send some data to the queues in orchestrator, and the data will be fetched and the data will be processed. In the same way, here in Power Automate also, we add some data to the queue items which are created in cloud, and that data will be fetched and processed. Okay, see next one, how to create queues in Power Automate. Go to flow.microsoft.com. You can see home page like this. It's nothing but cloud platform. Go to monitor, click on monitor, and you can see here work queues. Click on work queues, which is preview version. See here, you can see all the queues that I have created before. And if you want to create new queue item, click on new, give some name, demo queue, and description, item default time to live are optional, and click on create. After clicking on create, you can see about the work queue details, process status, created on date and time, and also one of the queue, and if we have any modifications, it will show this. And also, whenever we add data into the queue, then the data will be reflected here. Okay, this is a way by which we create queue items in Power Automate. Now let's see the activities related to Power Automate desktop. Let's see here. I clicked work queue. We can see three activities: process work queue item, update work queue item, add work queue item. Add work queue item is nothing but we have to add the data into the queues. For that we use add work queue item. Next, process work queue item is nothing but we'll fetch the data from the queues and then we process. Whatever the steps we need to process the data, we'll do all the steps under this activity. And update work queue item. Update work queue item is nothing but if we want to change the status of the queue item, whether it is processed or business exception or system exception, then we use this update work queue item. Okay, these are the activities related to work queues in Power Automate. Now let's see the flow. Here I created subflows, initialization and process, and also process. Here there is a change. Here we didn't use any get transaction data because we'll add queue items row by row, and also we'll fetch the queue items by using process work queue item activity row by row. So we did not use any get transaction data. In the process work queue item itself, it takes row by row. Let's see the code. If we go to initialization, in initialization, I have set all the variables. I have launched Excel which we have used before, and also we read Excel worksheet data, and that data will be added to the queues by using for each row in Excel data. For each row in that Excel, every row I'll add to the queue. Okay, add work queue item. Let's see its properties. Here work queue the name with which we have created the queue in cloud platform. Priority also we can give normal, high, low. Here name it's an optional. We just give for reference like current item variable, and also inside the column name. Okay, and here input we give in JSON format. For every column name, key value pairs, for every column name we give the variable and also column name. Okay, expiry date of the queue we can give, and also processing nodes which we want to see in queue, and all this will be shared, all this will be stored in this, all information will be stored in work queue item. Next, I have opened the application, any teller application. That queue items will be fetched from the cloud platform and typed into the any teller application. Okay, see the process. Here, process for queue items. If I open this, see the properties. Here, only name of the work queue is there. Here, what all the queues I have in cloud, we can see it reflects here, and also we'll select the which queue we are using this process, then it will be stored in work queue item. See, in process work queue item I converted JSON to custom object, because while adding the queue item we have given input as JSON. Okay, here that JSON format will be converted into custom object, because to take the values from it. Then this output is JSON as custom object. JSON as custom object contains all the column values. So for splitting each column, so I have used split text, and also I have set variables from the work queue item which is fetched from the work queue. And then what I have done, see, then I have populated text field, nothing but enter the data into the application. And I have some validations here. If any of the column is empty, then it must show business exception. Okay, if any of the column is empty, then it must show business exception. If all the columns are present, it must show system exception. Okay, then if window contains, means if window is opened or window doesn't open, then it must update the status. If one window is open, then it will enter the value. If window is not open, then it must show like system exception. Okay, the status of the queue is updated by using update for queue item. Let's see once these properties. See here work queue item name, variable in which the data is stored, and also here the status processed, generic exception, IT exception, business exception. System exception, processing result we can write system exception. And these are the three activities: add work queue item, process for queue item and also update for queue item. In end process, I closed all the applications which I have used, close Excel and also close window. Okay. In main flow, I have integrated all the subflows, init, process transaction and also end process. Let me give a breakpoint here before process transaction. Let us see first adding the data into queues. How the data will be added. I'm executing the bot. It opened Excel and also for every row by row, it's adding to the queue item. The queue items are sent row by row to the queue, and then it opened application and also let's see the queue items are added to the queue or not. This is a queue name I have taken and opened. Once click on refresh, then see here all the queue items are added. Now let me continue the bot. It's entering the values, all the values, and this status will be updated in the queues in the cloud. My Excel contains 14 rows, so 14 work queue items are added to the queue, and those are processing and also updating the status, whether it is processed or business exception. or system exception. The bot stops. Let's see the queue. Click on refresh again, and we can see the status which are updated. Processed and business exception if any exception is there. Okay, and also you can see the processing notes also. By default it is created as processed, but now you can see the processing notes also. Okay, in this way we can update the queue items. I have taken re framework as a scenario and also related to the queues. Thank you. For more upcoming live events, follow Cognit Talks.